Here for night 2 of our AMA, Ask Me Anything. I still have the link available for Magic Brickey holders over on the members only side of the channel. So that's the lightning lane if you want to ask me a question. We'll see if anybody shows up. Another busy day. Didn't have time to pause and schedule this, but I thought I'd go live and keep the streak alive and see who shows up. My first question shows what kind of night it's going to be. It's John going, why don't you want a Treasure Planet ride in Tomorrowland? Because other than a select amount of people, nobody really cares about Treasure Planet. I get it. Like, Treasure Planet is like the Rocketeer. It's like, what are some other ones that go in this category where people are just like all in and super passionate on it? But that's not how theme parks work. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you have to be someone, thank you, Shoshana, good to see you here tonight. You have to be able to make things that a broad amount of people care about. So as much as I love the Treasure Planet community and their passion, it's not going to happen. So it's not that I don't want it there. I mean, my videos are never about what I want. My videos are based on the reality of what do I think the park is going to build? What are they going to do? That's the way I create my content. If I talked about what I want, we'd be making the wackiest videos ever. Lori says we need our dragon for beloved Phantasmic back maybe next year. I would like to think that at some point we will see Murphy. That's his name, right? Murphy? We'll see the return at some point. Got to come back, right? Can't be gone forever. I mean, they built the infrastructure for it and everything. It's all just there waiting for it to work. So one would think, why can't I put that window in with that window? Oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Brotato Chip, quote, shake and bake. I love both identities. You think Utopia will eventually go away? 100% it'll eventually go away. And I'm not saying that it won't come back in a different form, because it seems to be a bit of a Disneyland cockroach and be able to go the distance and make it where other attractions haven't. But I ultimately think they have to. I broke down last night just how big it is, and it just doesn't make sense. There's no way that it stays. Yeah, no, Laura, they made the announcement about it going electric. Still waiting to see that happen. There's been no forward progress on that, so that's a little bit interesting. What's up, JT Kel? How you doing, bud? Good to see you in here again tonight. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate everybody showing up with not a lot of notice. Getting ready to dig myself out of this crazy busy week. So I appreciate everybody showing up for our impromptu live stream week. Who knew? Who knew we could do it? But we did. I have last night's link still open for Magic Brickey holders. The lightning lane is still there. So if you want to go over there and just comment on that one that I put up, it's the top post on the members only side of the channel. I'll make sure to answer any questions that you guys put in there. There we go. John asked the question that I hear so many people comment on, and I just have to shake my head and go, no, 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 no. Would you be okay with Disney building a water park at Disneyland? No. A water park at Disneyland is one of the worst ideas ever, and I'll explain to you why. The whole trend of water parks is on the downslide. Things like 2020, and I'm not getting into a culture war, it just makes corporations go, do we really want to put a bunch of strangers in a communal space? And I'll just leave that part of this conversation there. It's a massive amount of space. It doesn't get the same amount of ticket price that a regular theme park gets. It also has to deal with the weather, but they could put it indoors. Now you've just made it insanely expensive and also not as enjoyable. Swimming in an indoor water park is not a good experience. And nothing against the youth. Fun fact, I was a young person once. But what do kids do when they get around water? They get jacked. What do kids do when they get jacked? They get loud. And what happens when kids get around pools? They reach the apex of their volume. You do that inside of a structure, no matter how tall the ceiling may be, and it just sounds like you're in a gym and everybody's just yelling. So, yeah, water park, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Laura, are you saying that you enjoyed the video that I did about Walt Disney World losing its rivers of America? If so, I appreciate that. Steve, have you seen Adam the Woo wearing your hat? Absolutely, I have. So nice of him. I gave him a couple of the hats. It's always fun to see him wear them in the videos. It's cool. And I have to say, it looks great on him. Nobody else is saying that, but I have to say it. I have to say it because, I'm the one that sells the hats. There we go. Johnny Shaver, Magic Brickey holder, talking some sense. Plus, Great Wolf Lodge is already down the street doing the indoor water park thing. And I mean, it's fine. But I don't hear anybody be like, bro, if you come to SoCal, Great Wolf Lodge, you got to do it. I don't hear anybody saying that. It's perfect for families, perfect for people having a good time, But it's Disney Water Park doesn't need to happen. One second here. Yeah, the indoor water park really just kills the vibe. And I mean, this just isn't really a outdoor water park environment. It's always interesting, like people don't live in Southern California don't really think about how it's always warm, but it's rarely hot, like swimming hot. Joe says, "Hey Bricky, have you thought about another place to elope at Disneyland and the secret that my lovely fiance asked you before?" Yeah, I mean, if you want to, well, no, I mean, I was going to say, if you want to get engaged at Disneyland, there's tons of places to get engaged. But if you want to get eloped, that's a whole different thing. If you actually want to get married there, uh, I don't think you want to do it inside of the park in its bubble. But let's think about it. I mean, if you grabbed a couple of friends, how many people are we talking about for this pop up marriage? Rusty Shackford, have you ever been to the candlelight processional? I have, and it's one of my top tier Disney experiences. Um, it was awesome. We did that, I believe, in 2016. So it's almost been a decade. Only did it once. I'm fine if I never do it again because it was such an amazing moment. That was when I was working for Disneyland, and I got the invite to go there. I was an illustrator for the Winterground Gallery, and the fact that the whole original idea of the candlelight processional was that Walt wanted to do it as kind of a thank you to people that had made that year at Disneyland special. So the fact that I was doing work for them and got asked to do it, in the way that Walt had it envisioned it would always work. I sat in my little folding chair next to a former Mouseketeer and Thomas Kincaid on the other side of me with just extreme pride that I had earned that seat. Not somebody gave me one, or not like a Club 33 bro being like, hey man, let me hook you up. Like, I had earned that seat. And one of my proudest Disneyland moments. Hello, Emilio. Thank you for your super chat. What's up, sir? It's my wife and I's anniversary on the 29th. Do you have a Disney experience that you'd recommend for me to surprise her with? On the 29th. Does she like, what day is the 29th? Let me look at the calendar. I'm thinking this through. It's a Wednesday. Damn it. All right, so let's do the math. Wednesday night is a non-Oogie Boogie night. So DCA is on the table. What is a good little surprise that some people don't know? Have you guys ever done when they turn the lights on at Radiator Springs? That's a fun little community moment that a lot of people don't know about. Have you ever been in front of the Haunted Mansion when they first turn the lights on during Halloween? That's a fun little secret moment that a lot of people don't know about. Let me think. Is there anything else like that's just like a cool little secret? Like they're really stingy on letting people go up to the wheelhouse on the Mark Twain. That's not a thing as much as it used to be. And those are a couple off the top of my head. Maybe you could plan, her favorite snack or a small gift that you could give to her on the top of the Mickey Fun Wheel. Mickey Fun Wheel in the evening around World of Color time is awesome, like before World of Color. Because, you always get stuck at the very, very top. And maybe when you're at the very, very top, you give her a wedding gift, or, if there's a certain thing that she likes, like pull out a box of C's candy or something like that. That could be kind of fun. I don't know. I don't know how tonight's live stream became, where can we get married? How can we celebrate our anniversary in the park? But I'm trying. I'm trying. All right. 3 max, someone to do the service, and 2 witnesses. All right. That's the count on this rogue wedding. All right, where could you do a pop-up wedding with 2 people getting married, someone doing it, and 2 witnesses? So that's a total of 5 people. 5 people doing a wedding. Do you like Star Wars? Are you guys Star Wars fans? Or... Okay, I got a game plan. I have a game plan. I figured this out. If you were to do it in the next couple of days, there's a way you could do it and it could work. Because one of the best places to watch fireworks at Disneyland is over at Big Thunder Mountain. And Big Thunder Mountain right now is down for construction. But the 2 little paths where you exit the ride, they're still open. The box that locks the workers out is where it's far over to the right. So technically, during fireworks time, if you and your bride stood against the fence with Big Thunder behind you, with the person that's going to marry you in between you, and your 2 witnesses aside from you, and if you did it fast, over in that little nook during the fireworks, if you did like a 3-minute service, I think you could get away with it. If you wanted to do it at daytime, the place where I think you could get away with it during the daytime is directly across the path. There's that little deck that sits next to the building, the shipbuilders building. It's actually has all kind of mechanics for the river and stuff in there. So you can do an outdoor wedding on that little patio. The only downside is there just may be people there like eating a turkey leg staring at you. So if you just wanted to be the five of you, the Big Thunder Mountain spot that I pointed out during fireworks time, I think that's your best strategy. If you did it in Toon Hall, there's a couple of problems. I like what you're saying about Toon Hall. There's a couple of problems. One, there's tables all in front of Toon Hall. So if somebody just wants to sit down and have their dinner, you're just going to have to deal with that being part of your memory. Two, the sound effects are so loud in front of Toon Hall. The soundtrack there is so loud, and there is a constant movement of CMs because they're always keeping an eye on all those tables to keep them clean. They have a service entrance that's right over where Clarabelle's used to be, where Pluto's hot dog stand used to be. So you're a sitting duck. They're gonna see that. And if you wanted to take any photos, all those umbrellas will ruin any good photos. Like you'd have to have somebody down on the stairs with a mega wide lens, and then you're shooting up, and your bride is not going to be shot up on her birthday, or I mean on her wedding day. You want to shoot eye level or shoot down on a bride. So therefore, there are a lot of logistics. Now, theme-wise, it's very cute. In your mind, in your heart, it feels so cozy. But in reality, that's a bad spot. Mel Rose, thanks, crazy fiance. We love you so much, Brickey. I'm trying here. Theme park vlogger and Disney bootleg wedding planner. I wear so many hats. That's why I sell hats. Tom Sawyer would be a good place. You would have to do it during the daytime. But Tom Sawyer is one of those places where they do have at least 2 or 3 cast members that are just walking the trail at all times. So if you did it along the river, you're a sitting duck. So you'd have to do it somewhere in the inlands. And they purposely walk that all the time just to make sure nobody's doing anything mischievous over there. The Big Thunder Trail area that I'm talking about, like right by where the service door is, that's great because the main thoroughfare goes like, no, I'm not pulling up a map. That means too much work. The main thoroughfare has people whisking by. There's the 2 little sidewalks there. You'd be up. There's like the main trail, a first trail, and a second trail. So there's 2 levels of trees and bushes kind of keeping you hidden. During the fireworks, it's really loud, so nobody's going to pay attention. And also during the fireworks, the cast members are babysitting the audience. There's not a lot of low and slow patrol. So do not argue with me, Jesse, ever. Hey, AK, what up? How you doing? Good to see you here. So friends, this has been our live stream week because I have literally been so maxed out that going and shooting and editing a video hasn't been possible. And I appreciate people that have shown up one night or all the nights. It's been very impromptu, been very loose, and I've been very excited that anybody has shown up. So I appreciate it. What's up, Siegs? Good to see you as well. Let me head over to the Fast Pass Lightning Lane. See if anybody left a new comment. If you are a Magic Brickey holder, you can go over to that comment that I put up on the top of my post section of the website, where members only can see it. And if you have a question, you can leave it over there on the Lightning Lane, and I'll get to you lickety split. Cut the line. Joe Beam, you don't see them, but there are cameras everywhere. You'll be seen by security. Oh, 100%. I've already told this person, by the way, that this is a bad idea, Joe Beam. I'm not endorsed. I've already told them it's a bad idea, and I don't want their wedding day to be ruined. But once again, my spot is far enough away from where the security dispatches. But if you did a tight 3-minute ceremony, by the time security gets there, you're already married. You may be already divorced. Who knows? But yes, Joe, there are cameras everywhere. And the entire time that I'm at Disneyland, I always assume that someone somewhere is watching me. And I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I know for fact, I can't get into it, but I know for fact that they're always watching you. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah, if you want to get married in Tomorrowland, you could bring 100 people and you could just do it in there and nobody'd care. It's just trash. I mean, there is a really great spot though to get married in Tomorrowland. If you wanted to get married in Tomorrowland, the best spot to do it would be, I'm just going to go around the park and tell you the best spot to get married in every land. Best spot to get married in Tomorrowland if you're doing a rogue wedding would be if you go over to where the Star Traders building is, and then there's the Star Arcade, the arc, that used to be there in the corner of the arcade. There's the exit tunnel that everybody's coming out from Space Mountain. There's an emergency exit there, and there's a stairwell. And the stairwell has a do not enter sign on the first landing, but it doesn't have a do not enter at the bottom landing. And a lot of times when I film in Tomorrowland, I go up those stairs, I stand on that platform, you see Tomorrowland behind me, but I don't have to film anybody's faces. That would be the place where I'd get married in Tomorrowland. Now moving over to Fantasyland, Motorboat Cruise Dock. I'd get married at the Motorboat Cruise Dock. If I had to get married in Toontown, I would do it if you go to where the playground is and you go all the way up to the far left. There's like a little observation deck. I would do it over there with Toontown behind me. Furthest kind of spot you'd get away. If I'm going to do it in Galaxy's Edge, I'd do it at Galaxy's Edge at the end of the night. Main Street's open for an hour for your shopping convenience. You'd probably have a solid 5 minutes where there would be nobody there but you. I'd probably do it somewhere around the land speeder garage because there's just a wide berth there that you could make sure that nobody saw you. And there's cast members over by the Falcon, but really everything over there shut down. If I was going to do it in Frontierland, I already gave you 2 locations. If I was going to do it in Bayou Country, ooh, that's rough. That's a tight spot. That's a real tight spot. In Bayou Country, I don't know, man. I guess over by the waterfall where the return for the rides are, right before you get into the treat place. If I was going to do it in Nolan Square, where would I get married? Oh, I know. I would do it on the back steps of the treehouse where Pirates of the Caribbean would be right behind you. I'd do it over there. If I was going to get married in Adventureland, I would do it in the Tahitian Terrace or up on the patio on the outside of the tiki room. If I was going to get married on Main Street, USA, I would do it. That's a tough one. I would do it over by First Aid in the Baby Center because it's pretty quiet over there. Or you could probably, I don't know, I mean, yeah, train station's way too risky. There you go. Goodbye, everybody. Did it. Now I'm going to tell you all the best places to get divorced at Disneyland. The Adventureland Pinch, say 4:30 in the afternoon when it's about 90 degrees, where you cross the parade route at the edge of Alice in Wonderland and Storybook Land canal boats, say during the holidays, right after the Christmas parades ended, say 10 o'clock at night. Where's another good place to get decide you want to get a divorce? Let's think. I know. Radiator Racers underneath the little awning thing. 240-minute wait. Let me think about it. Where's some other good places to get divorced? If you get married at the Baby Center, what's up? Shotgun wedding. Jesse Adventure over on the Magic Brickey holder lightning lane. Let's say you get permission to give out VIP tours from Disneyland. Where would you take me on a tour to? Oh, bro. I've done this before for like close friends. Don't ask me to do it. I can't do it. I'll get kicked out of the park. But whenever I've had people come in from out of town that I'm friends with, I'll tell them, I'm like, You want to tour Main Street USA? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you want me to walk you from the front gate to the castle and explain to you how it all works? And they're like, yeah, sure. And normally, when we get to about the middle of town square, they're like, dude, how do you know all this? This is insane. Like, how in the hell do you know all of this? And so I've done that for friends before where I walk them up and I give them a tour, like pointing everything out. I think that, if you're saying what rides would I take you on? If I was like, because like really the VIP tours now is just Lightning Lane with a bud. I mean, if I was going to give you value on a Lightning Lane, if I was a VIP tour guide, I'd make sure that you did Racers, Guardian, Soarin', Speederman, if you had a child with you. And then over at Disneyland, the big ones. I'd definitely make sure that I got you on Rise, Space Mountain if you care about that, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'd get you on Indy. I would get you over on, Pirates Mansion, with it being the holidays. That'd be great. I would hold your stuff while you rode Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I'd get you on all the heavy hitters. Shoshana says, I got a tour like that from a cast member and I knew more than they did. Was not fun. Yeah, I don't buy any of the tours anymore because they're just not that good. Not always. I mean, it just depends. It depends on what your knowledge base is. And it also depends what they're giving you access to. Like I did a tour of Walt's apartment. Tour guide was great. Super nice guy. Everybody else was pretty amazed by the information that he shared. But I really did it just to get into Walt's apartment and to get to stand out on their patio and stuff. And then when we did Keys to the Kingdom, I mainly did that because I just wanted to be inside the utilidors. I've always wanted to go in one of the underground spaces. So getting to go underneath the castle was great. But I will point out that there was 3 times in my tour, and I was not obnoxious about it at all. In fact, every time she's like, does anybody have any questions? I would do this. She's like, does anybody have any? Like, I'd wait till she asked like a second time. I'm like, nobody's going to ask a question. Then I would be like, I have a question. So I didn't like, hey, I know a lot of, I never mentioned I did YouTube or any of that stuff. And there were 3 times in our tour where I bailed out our tour guide because they did not know the next part of their story. And by the 3rd time, she's like, you would probably know. I'm like, yeah, it was Admiral Joe Fowler. She's like, oh, right, Admiral Joe Fowler. But I was not obnoxious about it. Like, I try to keep in mind that everybody on that tour has a different learning base. Maybe it's the only time they've been to Magic Kingdom. Maybe it's a very special day for them. So, I don't ever get obnoxious, but I feel you, Shoshana. When I did that tour where they take you around the park for the holidays, I was on tour for the Christmas tour, and everybody that walked past me was like, I want to be you so bad. I want out of this. There was like actually one woman who was like, oh, I just got an important phone call. I got to leave. And she just bailed on it. It was that bad. I mean, our tour guide too, one of her questions for everybody was, what is your favorite Christmas song? And hers was Hark the Herald. Angels Sing. I'm like, that is nobody's favorite Christmas song. It is nobody's favorite Christmas song. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. That's just like a background thing. But nobody goes, oh man, please, please, please play Hark the Herald. Please play it, please play it, please. Hark, damn it. Last Christmas. F you, George Michael. No. Hark the Herald, the angels sing. Glory to our newborn King. Shoshana says, it was me and Coral doing it. So 5 minutes in, when I realized we knew more than they did, it was awkward as hell. Yeah. I've been there before, man. I've been there before where I'm like, oh, I just wasted money and this is going to be a long hour and a half. Last Christmas is my favorite Christmas song. I love it. I love it so much. And the fact that he died on Christmas makes it the best song ever. The best Christmas song ever. You thought I was signing off? No, not yet. Not yet. But I'm itching. I'm itching to hit that end stream button. All right, let's go land by land. Places to get married in DCA. Buena Vista Street. There's a great spot to get married on Buena Vista Street. So there's a little patio outside the Five and Dime that you're allowed to stand on. You could stand up on that patio, get married, no problem whatsoever. Over in Grizzly Flats, you could get married on the back trail there. You could probably do that pretty easily along, the waterfall. If you did it at night, especially during World of Color, you could get away with it. Over in the Pixar Pier area, you don't want to do it anywhere on the east side of the pier because the roller coaster makes it insanely loud over there. But I'm pretty sure if you wanted to get married over, let me think about this. Not by Boardwalk Pizza, but a little bit more closer to the bandstand. I mean, there is that gazebo that they don't do stuff in, so you can maybe do it over there. Or you can get married under the new net for things that fly off of Goofy's Sky School. Then we could move over to San Francisco. If you're open to a sitting wedding, you could easily get married in a lot of places if you did a sitting wedding. But if you need to stand, the best place to do it in San Francisco would be, again, over by the Baby Center where you can measure your height next to Baymax. Cars Land, right now during the construction, you could probably do it over in front of Luigi's, but it's pretty loud over there. You probably don't want that vibe. But there is that little back trail that takes you from San Francisco to Cars Land. You could probably get married on that little back trail. Avengers Campus. I mean, nothing's happening in the Sanctum. Knock yourself out. Weddings by Strange. Knock yourself out. Also, maybe if you planned it correctly, you could get married over at the observation deck that sits in front of now the DVC Center, which used to be the Blue Sky Cellar. You could do it over there. And then as far as Hollywood Land goes, knock yourself out. Do it wherever you want. Nobody's there and nobody cares. There's no rules. It's lawless. In fact, they're getting ready to rename Hollywood Land The Purge. The Vineyard back trail would be nice. Would be really nice. But I'm trying to keep it out of a walking trail. You know what I mean? Like a walking trail means traffic. If you're going to get married, you want to get married in a nook. You want to pull aside. You want to kind of pull over and do your thing. Let me check the lightning lane. For Magic Brickey holders. Oh, Jesse again. Hey, he's got the lightning lane. Go for it. Could you see the new Avatar quote experience being like Jurassic Park, where they bring Pandora to California so people can experience what it to be on a different planet without leaving the planet, almost like a preview center. Like Jurassic Park, where they bring Pandora to California. I see what you're saying there. So you were saying that they would use the preview center as the way, kind of like when they did the hack of, oh, no, Paradise Pier. The theme is amusement park inside of our theme park. So you're saying, could they be using the loophole of experience, which is a word they've used and a lot of people have kind of looked at, to be like, oh no, this is an experience of what it would be like to go to another planet. Very interesting. Wow, you've really introduced a great legal loophole there for a guy that works in retail. You missed your calling on being a Southern lawyer. I like that. I like that you're seeing that different. I've heard nobody take that take yet. Justin Baker, do you think Disney will revisit the Omnimover for a premium level new attraction? I think the Omnimover concept is alive forever. I mean, really, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is an Omnimover. It just moves really fast. Too fast for this cat. Mel Rose. My life won't be complete until I run into Brickey at one of the parks. Well, I hope I never see you. I hope I never, ever see you in one of the parks because it's going to be so awkward if you're like, oh my God, Brickey, it's... I'm like, oh no, I know who this is. It's Melrose. And she's always said that when she saw me, her life would be over. What do I do? She's dying on my dime. And then that's when I throw you down on the ground and I start banging on your chest, going, not on my watch, Melrose. Not on my watch. You will not die at my hands. That's how that moment will happen. Nah, she just die and be Casper. One of my favorite Little Simpsons jokes is that Homer was a ghost once, and every time he would fly out of the room, he would leave slime on the wall like Slimer. I loved it. I loved it. Oh, Vinton Solers. What park is better if you only can do Christmas time in one? Oh, bro. All right, let's get out the Christmas scales of justice. Okay. Disneyland, DCA. DCA has World of Color Holiday, but not this season. DCA has like a little Christmas parade, a little impromptu thing, but Disneyland has the real Christmas parade. DC has a tree. Their tree's a little bit better. They also have the local residents that will sing Christmas carols in front of the tree. But Disneyland has Small World Holiday. So therefore, the Christmas scales of justice brought to you by HeyBrickey.com, best place to get fan-themed hats. You want to go to Disneyland if you could only go to one park for the Christmas. And the Nightmare Overlay. Thank you, Jesse Adventure. Thank you. All right, let me go over to the Lightning Lane for members. AKA the Jesse Adventure Bat line. Nothing new there. Oh, save the children, baby. Save the children. I forgot, does Disneyland turn into Christmas theme on November 1st? Unfortunately, it doesn't. The first official day of Christmas at the park is November 14th, and that irritates me. Because November 14th, I have to be in Las Vegas because I am the host of DesignerCon 2025. Oh, you need the website for Save the Children? In case some of you are new and you don't know, I have a big fundraiser that I work for every holiday season. It's a website called Save the Children. And if you want to donate, I'd appreciate your donation today. And you can donate easily by going to savethe.org/72349/HJ_7 NE, then Mexico thing over the top of the E, 728 Angel Fire / then / geocities dot 72.81.385.19, then underscore capital H, little h, capital H, little h, capital H, little h, then exclamation, dot AOL dot org dot org dot 74 underscore 79 upper score HJN, Mexico thing over the top of the N. Then you want to put in backslash. I forgot the rest of it. Hold on, I got to start all over. SaveTheChildren.com / it's GeoCities. That's what it was. So write that down. Make sure you do it. And save the children today. The children will appreciate it. I just joined and he sounds crazy. Oh, you need me to pin the link to the chat for you? Okay, let me get in there and pin that link for you. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good times, great oldies. That's a classic. That is a classic. All right. Check the lightning lane. We're a little light on questions tonight. I think we had a real great sesh last night. Appreciate everybody showing up. Take a couple more questions, and I'm going to wind it down. I got to get back to writing this week's video. I'm close to being done, but I've had a busy week with lots and lots and lots of meetings popping up out of my control. Do you like the Disney 70th content they put on Disney Plus? I canceled my Disney Plus, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. KDoc 1022 Brickey. No questions from me. Just wanted to say I appreciate the awesome content you put out. I'm facing a lot of stress right now with my studies, and your videos really ground me. I appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you too, bud. Hang in there. If you're in school right now, like doing college, I'll just give you a heads up. It was the most stressful, most exhausting chapter of my life. But life only got better thereafter. So hang in there, man. Hang in there. You got it. We've all been there and it sucks. Mars 112, it is true that my local Starbucks closed down, or one of my local Starbucks. It was very sad to go there on their last day. They wrote on my cup, "We'll miss you." Mid-Century 43, it's me again. Mid-Century 43, by the way, walks around Disneyland with an iPad that they take photos on. I'm like, dude. He's like, can I get a photo? I'm like, of course. You're taking photos on an iPad. How in the hell can I say no to that? That's so cool. What are you looking forward to at Paris? I talked about this yesterday. Abbreviated answer, the vibes and writing their version of Storybook Land Canal Boats. Shoshana, how will you watch the 6-part Taylor documentary? You know, I'm not anti-Taylor Swift. I'm just not a part of that machine. And I love pop music. I got a sweet tooth for pop music. It's just the Taylor Swift thing. It just, I don't know. It just never really grabbed me. I mean, there's one song of hers that I really like. And then the rest, it's good. It's just not for me. Just never got me. Jonathan Lawrence, as a guy with no ink, I'm always curious, what is your newest or favorite tattoo? Well, I have a kind of a weird rule about tattoos. I believe tattoos are like children. They should be seen and not heard. I don't know. It's like really cringy when I hear people talk about tattoos. Like, I don't know. I don't know why it cringes me out so much, but it's just something that I don't really talk about or get involved in. Are you kidding me? Did the damn YouTube page just crash on me again tonight? Or get involved in? Yeah, I'm still live. I can see over my phone I'm live. It crashed again tonight. For those of you that don't know, I've been insanely busy lately with other stuff. So I've been doing these live streams to keep my streak alive of 100 days in a row for my second season. And I spent 6 hours on Monday putting the fastest internet possible into my house. And now all of a sudden, 2 nights in a row, the YouTube back in live streaming thing just crashes on my computer. Chat's frozen, page is frozen. All right, let's quit Chrome. I did this yesterday and it didn't end the stream. Now I got to load all my pages back up. That's so annoying. Because it's like to get back into your live stream, it's not like you got to like dig. You got to go into YouTube Studio. Then you got to click content. And then you got to go to live. And then you got to click into your live. Nope, that's not going to do it. I actually got to go like I'm going to create a new live stream. And then, oh, look, I'm already live. Maybe I should go to that one. That is so annoying. Well, at least now I know the hack to just quit the browser because it crashed the whole browser. Sorry, now my lights are all knocked out of whack. All right, well, at least we're learning. Tonight's disaster was a lot quicker to figure out from last night's. All right, let me jump back in the chat. I missed a little bit there because of my crash. Dino Man 445. Hey, Mr. Brickey, what's your favorite Disneyland Railroad engine? The one I'm riding on, baby. The one I'm riding on. I love that train so much. Operation Latte Thunder ripping the park on Sunday. Anybody else going? I might be there Sunday night. I might go in Sunday night, try to rip some videos. I am too fast for YouTube. So true. That's a great point. Anyway, sorry, I just don't really talk about tattoos. I mean, not that I'm like hiding anything, but I don't know. It's just like a cringy thing. But my whole rule is if you ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. Probably one of my tattoos that's like, I got the PMA there for positive mental attitude. That's a great thing to endorse. But like, I have this tattoo right here that you maybe could see. It's in a weird spot on my arm. I have this little bird and it has a banner and it says Carolyn. That's my mom's name. And my mom is estranged from me. I haven't spoke to my mom in over 20 years. And it's been like that my whole life. She's been the most problematic person in my life. And I got the little tattoo of the bird with her name on it as kind of a reminder of like, just let it fly away. Like, just let it leave you, you know? And for anybody out there that has a parent that causes you grief or maybe has put you in very dangerous situations or, caused a lot of the problems that you have to navigate in this world, my best advice is let it fly away. The moment I decided you're done, you're not in my life, I don't have to deal with you anymore, was actually one of the most liberating and free moments of my life. And it completely changed my mindset and attitude on everything. So, yeah. I know some people deal with that. And then other people that have great relationships with their parents, they give people like us grief. Like, how dare you say that? That's the woman that raised you. Just because you brought somebody to this world doesn't make you special. It's so much more about what you do after that moment, in my experience. That's probably a pretty good way to get the chat to just get completely quiet. See, this is why I don't talk about tattoos. Yeah, R.I.P. Ace Frehley. That's a wild one, right? Who knew that he was going to be the first one to die in Kiss, man? Who knew? Is Peter Criss still alive? That's what when I heard today about the that Ace Frehley died, I was like, wait a minute, is Peter Criss still alive? I gotta check that. Peter Criss Kiss. I'm doing a life check real quick on Peter Criss. Yeah, he's still alive. 79. Yeah, I would have guessed Peter Criss would be the first one to go. I don't know why. Like, I have really nothing to base that on. It just feels like Peter Criss would be the first member of Kiss to die. Oh, shit. I don't know what you're asking how to make a game. I don't know. Love your content before you changed. Just get out of here, dude. You're just trying to start something. Oh, I missed the super chat. Um, I don't have a Disneyland for Designers channel, so I don't really know what you're talking about. You're saying you're like this is a troll move, right? Like you've changed, but they won't say what it is. Like just be like, hey, you started doing this differently. Why'd you do it? Oh, I can answer that question, but you changed. Not falling for it, dude. You ask a specific question, I'll give you a specific answer. U.S. Road Tripper. Brickey, how do you feel about sauerkraut? Now, that's a question I can answer. Sauerkraut's good. It's not for every meal. It's not for all the time. Like, you wouldn't want, like, first thing Christmas morning, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, sauerkraut. But the right time and place, sauerkraut is great. And when I lived in Toronto, there was these cool little hot dog carts everywhere. And I found that putting the sauerkraut on the hot dog really kind of like made that one different, you know? And when I lived in Toronto, sometimes I'd have to go to meetings and places that were at like really expensive restaurants. So I started this new thing called power bars. You know how people eat like a power bar, like a breakfast bar, cereal bar, and like, oh, this will keep me full for a while. On my way to some place where I was like, oh, that's going to be like an expensive dinner, I would get a power bar, which would be a hot dog. And I'd eat the hot dog. And then when I got there, I'm like, I don't need to get the appetizer. I'll just have the salad. So I would just rip power bars all the time, and it was great. Joey Blue Jay, what is there to do at Designer Con? So Designer Con is something I've been a part of since 2016. And it is a convention that celebrates design, but most importantly, like independent designers. So there's a lot of people there that design and fabricate their own products. So it could be something as easy to understand as a clothing line, but there's a lot of people there that do their own like vinyl toys, and to all different scales. Like, Tokidoki's going to be there who's, he's very successful in the toy world. But then there's going to be somebody there that I've never met before, that it's their very first show and they're just creating a new like vinyl toy line or whatever. But it's not just toys, it's kind of all designer collectibles and items that people make themselves, or at one point started out making themselves and their company grew, like my friend Brian over at Super 7. So it's basically just a show that celebrates the independent designer and creativity and product development. I agree with you, Emilio. I love A Magical Life with Walt Disney. I think it's surprisingly good. Brickey, have you tried kimchi? Not a fan. Not a fan of the Asian sauerkraut. Not my favorite thing. I always do Christmas morning breakfast sauerkraut. I wish you would. I wish you would. Yeah, Super Seven's really cool. My bud Brian, who founded it and runs it and owns it, is a really cool guy. And I've interviewed like hundreds and hundreds of creatives. Brian might be the smartest. Like he really has a unbelievable creative mind on the way that he sees the world of creativity and business, and he's definitely the reason why that company is so successful. And getting to hang out with him in his office in San Francisco and see his personal collection of stuff that he owns, it's just like so insane. And to get to see prototypes of toys that never really made it to market and stuff that he owns, really, really cool. Super cool dude. Looks like the live is going to be my daughter's bedtime story again. LOL, she loves it. All right. What's your daughter's name? I'll bite on that. Is there a store, restaurant experience, whatever you would want to see come to downtown Disney? Yes. Downtown Disney, Disneyland as a whole has a lot of things, but it doesn't have donuts. I would love to see donuts finally show up at the resort. Aurora, hope you had a good day at school. Tomorrow's Friday. You got a big day. Fun day at school. Wrap up with all your friends. But now it's time to wind it down. And I want to tell you about a little place called Disneyland. Aurora, I want you right now to imagine how fun it is when you get to step out of mom's car and you and mom are holding hands going down the escalator, and you're so excited because you know the Disneyland tram is just a few steps away. Then you and mom get on the tram. She lets you in first, but then decides you shouldn't be by the door. So then she moves you over to the side of her, but then realize you're still by the door. But then a stranger sits next to you. So now you're not going to fall out. As the tram takes you on its proprietary path, you look over to the left and you go, wow, these run on natural gas. That's so cool. No way. You feel the wind blowing through your hair, and you know I'm just steps away from going to Disneyland. And then you go over to the front gate, you scan your magic band, you see a photo of you smiling, looking back at you, and the cast member says, have a good time, enjoy your day. You go over to the tunnel on the right, you look up at a sign, you don't pay attention to it, but it'll mean something to you later. And then when you get around that corner, you look around, and your heart is full of enjoyment, because it's the moment that you realize that you just left the real world behind. And for the rest of this afternoon, it's just you and your mom and all your dreams coming true. Good night, Aurora. Have a beautiful day tomorrow, and may you sleep tight. Good night, everybody. I appreciate you all.